So I've been waking up at 5 a.m. for some of the mornings now. And some of these days I've even actually woken up at 5 a.m. I want to share with you guys what's actually working and what's actually not. Okay, so parts of the 5 a.m. experiment are completed. They're still being worked out, like working out the kinks, but for the most part, I know what's going on. Now, wait for the jump scare. Yeah, that's what it looked like at 5 a.m. So some of these mornings I have woken up. Some of the mornings when I look like that, I decided against waking up. But I will tell you, like, one of the things that I thought have been really putting me in the headspace that this is something for me is I've even played with it not being at 5 a.m. Let me explain. So I will say last week I did this about 2 or 3 times, but I got up at 5 a.m. and I will say that it was such a gorgeous morning. My window for my room was wide open, so all I did was stare outside. I also will tell you, I have 5 alarms. So I have one at 4:30 to get me up, because one of the things that I did discover is it takes me half an hour to 45 minutes just to get dressed, just to wash my face, just to actually look like a human being. That's the first thing I noticed. So I did have to start waking up earlier to accommodate for that portion of time. So 4:30, if I hit snooze, 4:45, and then if I hit it again, I have one going off at 5. What I've learned is I can't do 5 a.m. and jump into the 2020 program because that was just too much for me. The other thing that I noticed for me is I start the night before. So I make sure that nighttime Nancy prepares morning Nancy for what was going to happen. At night, I have this set up as reminders, and I tick it off. I put my clothes out, I fill up my water bottle, I make sure all the alarms are on, and I make sure that the room is set up for me to come in and do my 2020. You have to prepare yourself, or at least I have to prepare myself for what's going to happen the next day. For some people, they might be able to just get up and do the damn thing and be happy and move on about their lives. I need a whole structure. So that's the one thing that I will say I've been learning as I've been doing this experiment is I really thought I was not a timekeeper girl. I'm a timekeeper girl. I need to have checklists. I need to have checks and balances. So that's been pretty interesting for me to kind of wrap my head around and start learning to do. Now, in case you don't remember from the last video, 20 is what is the 5 a.m. club. So it's 20 minutes of exercise. So again, does this mean running in place, jumping, or it could mean whatever you want it to be. For me, my 20 minutes, I'm stretching, I'm doing light yoga. I did want to start incorporating it with walking outside. So I will say that one of the first things that I started playing with the 20 rule is that I don't put my exercise always right in the front. Sometimes I put it in the back of it so that I can take a walk outside and not feel like I'm walking into a horror movie. My other thing that I learned is you don't have to do this at 5 o'clock. Do it at 5:30. I think the main point of this, at least for me, is it gives me time. So it's before anybody starts asking me for anything. It's before the animals want to get fed. It's before my wife might ask if I've started to eat or if I've just been drinking coffee. It's before anyone can say it's time to look at work emails. I don't even pick up my phone to look at any kind of scrolling, to check my emails, nothing. It is the first chunk of the day is just to myself. Does it have to be 5 a.m.? No, make it work for you. And that's why this is a whole experiment for us to have a dialogue about what works, what doesn't work, and if you had to change anything in that to make it fit for something for you, in theory. Your second 20 minutes is supposed to be a reflection. So journaling, meditating, you can do your planner for 20 minutes. And that could be a regular diary or a gratitude journal. It could be just breath work. So the 20 minutes is really just for you to reflect on you for that portion of time. And again, as we're younger, that's not a real thing because I think it's really hard to incorporate when you have kids and careers and everything else. Now that I'm older and I need that time back because I'm not used to it anymore. I'm not used to taking an hour for me. So I really enjoyed it. Where I do all this is usually really dark, and of course the house is quiet. So what I do is I'll light a candle and that actually puts me in just a perfect frame of mind. And I never thought I would be a real journaling person. I've tried my whole life to do a journal or a diary. I find it now when I do it with purpose. So I will say this, for the 5 a.m. club, I'm definitely going to keep the reflection time. And excuse my writing, but I have a cat on me. Definitely keeping that. I'm definitely dumping the rigidity of the schedule. Now, I will say I do not like the rigid schedule. So I know I am keeping, or I'm going to put rigid in the no can do section. So of the whole keep it or ditch it, the rigid, the actual keeping to a schedule, it's only going to be 20 minutes, it's not. Because the final mode portion of this 20-20-20 rule is the portion of learning. That means podcasts. That means a book. That means you could do one of those online courses during that time. You could do a language during that 20 minutes. And the reason I'm saying that I don't like the rigidity of this is because if you're learning something and you're into a book, again, why would you stop it? I look at it like the walking and the exercise in the morning. If you're getting something out of it that's more than what's intended and it's a time for you, take longer than you are supposed to. Take the 45 minutes. Take whatever time you need. If you want to do another hour of just you reading, go ahead and do that. But go with it with purpose in the morning, and that's how you're going to find your way. Okay, so after a few mornings, what have I really learned that I'm doing in the keep and ditch section of the portion? So the first one is waking up at 5 a.m. Modify. I don't like that schedule. This is not to put stress on yourself. This is for you to do for yourself. This is supposed to be making your life better. I love that I've started journaling, which is nothing I've done before ever in my life. I love that I'm trying to get into meditation and breath work at that time. I don't feel the rush of it. I have to hurry up and do this because I have to be waiting. And I think that to me is the biggest takeaway from that all of this is for me. It's for me. That's it. That's the greatest portion of this because it is for me. I get to be the one that decides what I want to do, how I want to do it. Nobody's asking for me. Nobody's waiting on me to come back to work from lunch. No one is even texting. There's no text on my phone because who's going to text you at 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning? Nobody that wants to stay alive in my house. So I don't have to worry about any of that. It's just for me. It's my time before anybody else gets to intrude in my world. And it's a great feeling to have that. Okay. So now here's everything that matters and everything that I've learned with this. If I had done everything exactly like it says in the book, if I would have done everything in a really rigid way and really made myself get up every day at 5 o'clock, including the weekends, if I really made myself stick to that 20-minute schedule, that is not going to be for me. It's not going to be sustainable. I'm not going to do it long term. I haven't given up on it. I still very much enjoy getting my evening routine together and putting things out, getting my morning routine together and putting things on and fixing my life and all of that. What is not going to work is me making myself do something that is now going to feel like a chore. I'm not a 5 a.m. person. Why would I keep telling myself that? It's not true. So what I am is somebody who is sanctifying that time. That time is very special to me because it's only for me. So I want to know, what are you guys doing? Do you think you can talk yourself into being a 5 a.m. person? Are you willing to try any of these programs? Have you tried any of these programs? Why did they fail for you? Let me know in the comments. I'm dying to know. That's the whole point of this. That's the whole point of this channel. So if you want to follow along and see how this experiment plays out in real time, make sure you hit that subscribe button and that you get alerted. If you're managing anything, if you're trying anything, I want to know what and I want to know why. If you're open to sharing, if not, you could just DM me or shoot it on the side. But I will see you guys all next Tuesday.